Let's start with a little time travel. The year was 2012. Facebook was still fun, kale had just become a fashion statement, and researchers in Denmark were tinkering with a molecule that could change the way we treat diabetes and eventually obesity itself. That molecule was semaglutide, created by Novo Nordisk. It's part of a class of medications called GLP-1 receptor agonists. That's a mouthful, I know, but we'll unpack it. Semaglutide wasn't discovered overnight. It's the product of decades of research on the hormone GLP-1, short for glucagon-like peptide 1, which was first identified back in the 1980s as a natural hormone that helps regulate blood sugar. Scientists realized GLP-1 slows digestion, helps the pancreas release insulin, and tells the brain, "Hey, we're full, stop eating." But the natural hormone breaks down in minutes, so the race was on to design a synthetic version that could last long enough to be useful as a medication. Novo Nordisk cracked the code. After years of testing and fine-tuning, semaglutide was born, a longer-acting, more potent version of GLP-1. It hit the U.S. market in 2017 under the brand name Ozempic for diabetes, followed by Wegovy in 2021 for chronic weight management. In less than a decade, it went from obscure research to a cultural phenomenon. You can't scroll 2 minutes on social media without hearing about it. Fun fact, the first every peptide noted to have GLP-1 action was actually found in the venom of a Gila monster, a large lizard that lives in the dry southwest portions of North America. Officially, semaglutide was approved for type 2 diabetes, specifically to improve blood sugar control and reduce the risk of major cardiovascular events in patients with diabetes and heart disease. It's also FDA approved in a higher dose for weight management under the name Wegovy for people with obesity or overweight with weight-related medical issues like hypertension or sleep apnea. But medicine rarely stays inside its original lines. Off-label semaglutide is being studied and often prescribed for conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, fatty liver disease, NASH, and even prediabetes. It's also popping up in the world of addiction medicine, where researchers are exploring whether GLP-1 drugs could reduce cravings for alcohol, nicotine, or even opioids. In other words, semaglutide isn't just a diabetes drug, it's a metabolic multi-tool that's starting to cross boundaries between endocrinology, cardiology, psychiatry, and even public health. Now let's pop the hood and see how this thing actually works. Semaglutide mimics that hormone I mentioned earlier, GLP-1. Normally, GLP-1 is released in your gut every time you eat. Semaglutide acts just like that natural GLP-1 but stays active much longer, about a week, which is why most people only take it once weekly. By keeping that hormone signal going, it helps smooth out blood sugar levels, reduces appetite, and makes overeating much harder. And that brain effect, that's the secret sauce. The appetite regulation centers in your hypothalamus start responding differently. Cravings drop, portion sizes shrink, and people suddenly find it easier to say no to foods they used to love too much. It's not magic, it's neurochemistry doing what willpower alone often can't. GLP-1 receptors are found throughout the body, and that's why GLP-1 medications affect much more than just blood sugar. In the pancreas, they increase insulin release and reduce glucagon. In the gut, they slow down digestion and help you feel full faster. In the brain, especially the hypothalamus, they calm hunger signals and help regulate energy balance. GLP-1 receptors also live in the heart and blood vessels, where they support cardiac function and improve circulation. In the liver, they lower glucose production, and in the kidneys, they help control sodium and water balance. Altogether, GLP-1 isn't just a gut hormone, It's a full-body messenger that connects metabolism, appetite, and cardiovascular health. So, how well does it work? Honestly, very well. In diabetes studies, semaglutide lowers A1C by about 1 to 1.5 points. Impressive for a single agent. But what really made headlines were the weight loss trials. At the doses used in Wegovy, patients lost an average of 15% of their body weight over 68 weeks. That's not water weight. That's a metabolic reset. Beyond weight and sugar control, semaglutide seems to help in other ways. It lowers inflammation markers. It improves cholesterol and triglycerides. It reduces the risk of heart attack and stroke in diabetic patients. Some studies even show improved kidney outcomes. And let's not forget quality of life. Patients report better energy, fewer food cravings, and improved self-confidence. I've seen it in clinic myself. People who've struggled for decades suddenly finding stability. It's not just the pounds or the numbers, it's the feeling of control returning. That's powerful medicine. Now for the other side of the coin, because yes, semaglutide has side effects and they're not small for everyone. The most common are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and constipation. That's because it slows digestion and your stomach has to adjust to the new pace. Usually the symptoms fade over time, but they can be rough in the beginning. A rarer but important risk is pancreatitis, an inflammation of the pancreas that can be serious. There's also a black box warning about thyroid tumors seen in rodent studies, though we haven't seen the same thing confirmed in humans. Still, anyone with a history of medullary thyroid cancer or MEN2 should steer clear. Some people also experience gallbladder issues, gallstones, especially during rapid weight loss. And of course, there's the issue of muscle loss if weight drops too quickly without enough protein and resistance training. It's also worth noting the emotional component. Some users describe changes in mood or appetite that feel almost too strong, a sense of indifference toward food, even joyless eating. It's a reminder that this isn't just a gut drug, it's a brain drug too. All right, let's talk about what everyone really wants to know, the price tag. Semaglutide is effective, but it's not cheap. If you're paying out of pocket, Ozempic runs around $900 to $1,200 a month, and Wegovy can push past $1,300. Most of the current GLP-1 makers currently have a direct-to-consumer program which can cut down prices a good amount. Insurance coverage varies wildly. Some plans cover it for diabetes but not for weight loss. Others deny it altogether unless you meet very specific criteria. That's led to a black market boom of online compounded versions, some legitimate, many not. And while compounding pharmacies can be safe when done properly, the problem is that not all of these online suppliers follow the rules. Dosing errors, contamination, fake ingredients, it's a risky game. There's no denying the cost is a major barrier, and it raises ethical questions. We have a drug that could meaningfully change population health, reduce diabetes, heart disease, even healthcare costs long-term, but access is gated by affordability. That tension will define the next decade of obesity medicine. The story of semaglutide is still being written. Right now, researchers are exploring its use in addiction medicine for alcohol, nicotine, and even cocaine. Early results suggest that by modulating dopamine and reward pathways, it might dampen cravings across the board. It's also being tested for Alzheimer's disease, where its anti-inflammatory and vascular benefits could protect brain tissue. Newer versions are already hitting the pipeline. Tirzepatide, that's Mounjaro, which combines GLP-1 with another hormone called GIP for even greater effect. There's also an oral form of semaglutide being developed for easier access. The future of this drug class might go beyond managing disease. It might redefine how we understand metabolism, aging, and even the psychology of hunger itself. But here's the thing. Semaglutide isn't a miracle. It's a tool. A remarkably powerful one, yes, but still a tool. The lifestyle piece, the nutrition, the mindset, those still matter. In medicine, we've waited a long time for something that truly helps people gain control instead of lose it. Semaglutide might just be the first domino in a whole new era of metabolic care. So whether you know it as Ozempic, Wegovy, or that magic shot everyone's whispering about, remember, this drug didn't fall from the sky. It came from decades of science, thousands of trials, and countless people hoping for something better. And in that sense, it's not just a medication, it's a story of hope, biology, and a little bit of modern medical magic. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and subscribe button.